The girl I like forgot her glasses. So I don't want to say I'm disappointed because that's simply not true. But what I will say is this anime, out of all the brand new anime, so remove returning ones like Mushoku Tensei or Masame Kun's Revenge, right? Take the returning anime that's a continuation from last season, or the ones that are finally getting a season 2, 3, 4, whatever. Out of the brand new anime, the girl I like forgot her glasses was the most anticipated brand new anime for me personally. Everything that I read, I saw, like trailers, animation, stunning, beautiful, and I was like, yo, this is a me anime. And I will say I spent about the first half of the episode not digging it at all, and I was really like taken aback by it. And I was really disappointed, but then I spent the next half of the episode seeing what it's actually going to offer us, like seeing like, okay, here's what the anime is actually going to be. Here's what it's putting on a plate for us for eating. And I was like, okay, yeah, I want me some of this. And looking at the preview for next episode, it seems to be more along the lines of like, okay, yeah, this is what I'm wanting here. Now let me explain the disappointment. Now, first off, we have our main character, Komura, right? And he's desperately in love with me, or me. I'm just gonna say me. He's desperately in love with me, like obsessively in love. Apparently, this love though is a newer love for him, because this girl started sitting next to him in class about 3 days ago, and that's kind of where this all began. The episode starts off with him having a bunch of flashbacks and all these things of them, going here and going there and watching this and, going to arcade, whatever, like spending time together. And that ended up being all his imagination. That I thought was pretty funny. So, first off, we're off to a pretty good start. But then I'm like, okay, he really likes this girl a lot. So he says good morning to every dude imaginable, but no girls. So that's the first thing I noticed. But then she goes past him, right? Like this is like their first day of class or whatever, first day of class that we see. And she runs past him or is, going past him. And I was like, oh, he's going to say good morning to her. No, he doesn't say anything to this girl. So immediately I'm like, yo, aren't you obsessively in love with this girl? Like, Ohayo, man, good morning, bro. Like, just say good morning, dude. I'm like, okay, whatever. I was like, she was running. Maybe he just like, okay. So then we go into class and he explains to her that Misan has 3 days ago got moved and now she sits next to him. And I was like, okay, this is your chance. Say Ohayo. Say good morning, bro. Still didn't say good morning. I'm like, yo, what the F is going on with this dude? Then he doesn't talk to her at all. So he seemingly sits there for like a whole day. He doesn't talk to her at all. I'm like, okay, that's so frustrating, right? It's like, I get, some random girl sits next to you and you have like no interest in her or whatever, maybe that would be me, like, you're like, hey, what's up, and then just you go about your day or something. I don't know. But if you're obsessively in love, like, yo, say anything like, hey, good morning, or, have a good lunch, say anything. Long story short, it finally takes, I even wrote down in my comments, I wrote down, talk to her for the love of God. And I have like 108 exclamation points. I was not enjoying this. Then it finally took her, forgetting her glasses, and that is what ended up having her talk to him. And she talked to him because she didn't want to appear angry. I thought that was a really cute scene. Okay. Then he decides, we're going to share books because she forgot her book. She scoots super close to him. And this is where it kind of started, but again, he got flustered. He didn't know what to say, so I was like, okay. But then this is where like, okay, it starts to get a little bit better because then the animation takes over. And one thing I gotta say is the animation is like jaw-droppingly gorgeous. It's obviously very like 3D rendered, but it's like a 3D, 2D like render here, and it's done very, very well. Like they use a lot of like space reflections and a lot of things to kind of give us like really good depth to here along with the art, but the overall stylistic choice of it is really good. Now I will say, this kind of reminds me like Chinese Donghua does this a lot. And what they do is like the body movements aren't quite right when the kids are moving, or in this case it's the kids, but when characters are moving, And they kind of nailed it here, but they still have that weird, awkward 3D movement thing that I'm like, okay, I don't mind the 3D stuff, when they're trying to do like the flowy hair and the pan arounds and stuff, like the stills. But like when they're moving, the kids still look a little awkward. So I was like, but overall, I would say it's visually stunning, and I would say they're nailing it there, especially with her flowy, like her hair is just like, oh my god, like the hair is just so good. Then they share the moment with class and stuff. He gets flustered, she gets close to him. Then we have the shoe scene where she accidentally takes his shoes because of course she does. He ends up helping her. He ends up lacing up her shoes, sharing a really cool moment. We find out that she lives super close to school, so that's how she's been surviving even without her the ability to see. And he prays upon Akami, a god, that she forgets her glasses again. She did, in fact, not only forget her glasses, she stepped on them, she broke them. Then she fell asleep in class, which I thought was really, really interesting. And at the end of it, at the end of this sleeping scene, he tries to dupe the teacher. He has a fear of touching her. Like, not even, it's like, yo, bro, like, you're about to get like a hard on if you just like, touch her shoulder and be like, hey, wake up, dude. Like, apparently the answer to that question is yes. But regardless, like, he's not able to do it. But she wakes up. She thinks that he's her dad or something because she was just very sleepy. And she ends up falling asleep on his shoulder. I thought that was a really, really cute scene. He was like, please let this moment last forever, even though he was fuming at the mouth. Teacher comes and ends up like hitting her on the head. So I was like, that scene, I laughed quite a bit. And then the episode ends with her getting really close to absorb his face, him blushing, and he was like, "Oh, it's me," whatever. And she's like, "Oh, that's what you look like." And we find out that she was wearing contacts that day, so I thought that was really, really cool as well. Then we see the preview for next episode, which I'm like, okay, next episode, this is where it's churning for me. Next episode seems like they're gonna maybe go out to hang out or something, and they're gonna share a couple of different moments, like looks like a cooking class, what do they call it? Not cook ed, what the hell do they call it? Food ed, something ed. I don't know. I don't remember. I haven't been in freaking high school, guys, in like almost 20, like a long time. A long time, okay? But whatever they call that, it looks like they're gonna take their cooking class, and it looks like they're gonna hang out. So it looks like we're gonna get a lot more between them. And I was like, this is when it's gonna start churning, and he really needs to get that confidence and open up a little bit. So overall, good episode. Half disappointment, I will say, like, because I prefaced that this was the anime I was most excited to watch this season. I am a little disappointed because it didn't exactly come out and just, like, I think my expectations were just a little too high for this. So now I'm going to rein my expectations in, be here for the ride, and hopefully it kind of blows my very much lowered expectations now away as we move forward. But let me know what you guys think about The Girl I Like Forgot Her Glasses. Let me know if you're on the opposite page of me. Let me know if you're just blown away, or let me know if you're just, completely disappointed. Let me know all that in the comments. You got nothing to say, no worries. Drop me an emoji, just so YouTube can share this out to more people. And of course, I'll see you guys here next week for episode number 2, next Tuesday. So for those here in the States, happy July 4th. And for those around the world, have a great day. See you later, my friends.